Yo, what is good, guys? Welcome to the United fan base, the UFC, a new channel that talks everything that is Manchester United. Now, I know it's the international break right now, but we have a lot to get into with regards to the season so far. We're going to talk about recent news, and where better to start than with the potential return of the self-proclaimed God of LA, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, coming back to Manchester United. The veteran striker could reportedly make his shock return to Jose Mourinho's Manchester United in this upcoming January transfer window. Obviously, I don't know how many of you guys feel about this move, but his time in Manchester was filled with a lot of injuries, but we cannot deny the fact that his goal return from Mourinho's side was beyond healthy. He scored 29 times in just 53 appearances before his exit. Now, does it make sense for United to pursue Zlatan Ibrahimovic? I don't know, maybe it does. I mean, he's recently become the newest member of the 500 goal club, which is him joining the likes of Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. And despite him being 37 years old and playing in what many people consider to be the retirement league, which is the MLS, he's netted 21 goals and provided assists for 6 goals in just 25 games. Now, I don't want to get into too many transfer rumors. The only other rumor I'm going to mention, though, is the pursuit of Aaron Ramsey. Let me know in the comments down below if you think we should make that move, if you think he'd be a good fit for the club, and if you think Arsenal would be losing a quality player. Now, getting into the season so far, we can't deny that it's been a downward spiral. This is mainly because we've literally had one of the worst starts in the history of the club. And who's to blame for that? Is it Lukaku missing open goals? Is it Jose Mourinho's tactics? Do the players not care enough? Or do we as the fans simply expect too much? Now, where better to start than with the UFC, you guys, the fan base. Now, as United fans, we've become so accustomed to seeing a team with Alex Ferguson at the helm that was feared throughout the entire world. And the most important part is we had an identity. We played the United way. Now, what is the United way, you might ask? Well, to put it simply, I think it's good football, or at the very least preparing our team to take our chances and capitalize on our opposition's weaknesses. The reason why I bring up you guys as the fan base is because I fear that we are now becoming like Liverpool and Arsenal and reminiscing about the past all the time. Those days are clearly gone. Yes, we finished second last season behind Manchester City, who in my opinion had the greatest season in Premier League history as they shattered every single record. But that doesn't mean that we as United, because we finished second, that we played well. It just means that somehow 18 other teams were worse than us, and at this point in time, that's really hard to believe, but that was the case. Chelsea were not that good. Liverpool, they did well, but yeah, they could have done better like they're doing this season. Arsenal were Arsenal. Tottenham, we know they belong in 4th place. At the end of the day, we cannot deny the fact that Manchester United finishing second last season gave the fans false hope, especially coming into the season, because we were looking to improve upon that. But at the end of the day, our weaknesses are finally being exposed and something needs to change. Now, to turn our attention to perhaps the most controversial figure at the club, the gaffer himself, Jose Mourinho. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the days of Manchester United playing attractive football are long gone, and it'll stay that way as long as Jose is the manager of the club. Rather than place his trust in an expensively assembled squad the way Alex Ferguson did, Mourinho seems insistent on playing a style of stale reactive football which went out of date a long time ago. He possesses a squad containing the likes of Romelu Lukaku, Alexis Sanchez, Marcus Rashford, Anthony Martial, Juan Mata, Paul Pogba, amongst others, and yet he lines his sides up as if we are a mid-table League One side. Now, there's a lot to get into with regards to his tactics, but we can't hide from the fact that this is his 3rd season at the club. And if we all pay attention to Jose's past, we know he has a tendency to self-implode rather spectacularly in his third season at his past clubs which he's managed, and we probably should have seen this coming. The next topic is one that really bothers me, and the reason why it bothers me is I sort of understand why people feel the way that they do about this, because I used to feel the same way, but I feel that we seem to find a way to always blame this guy for whether if United wins, we praise him. If we lose, then it's his fault. And right now there's no surprise, I'm talking about Lukaku, and we always use him as a scapegoat. Now make no mistake, the reason why we haven't won some of the games is because Lukaku did not take the chances that he needed to take, the chances that he got early on in the game. I 100% agree with anyone who says that. However, anyone who blames our losses on Lukaku, I think you might be insane. Yes, his conversion rate is a bit suspect sometimes. I know that he scores a lot of goals. His stats are very misleading, but when you sit and actually watch a Manchester United game and you see this guy miss 4 open goals in 4 consecutive games, and you realize, oh my gosh, we paid like some 90 million pounds to get this guy who's supposed to be one of the world's best strikers by now. And yeah, you can make the argument that he's in that conversation. I wouldn't put him in my top 5, but maybe like top 10. Yeah, he can make a case. But at the end of the day, Lukaku should be doing better. I agree with that. And yes, I understand the fact that if we got that early goal that he would have gifted us with, it would have changed the dynamic of the game. The team would have been more relaxed, especially at home. But when you look at Manchester United struggling against teams like Brighton and conceding 3 goals, even though we were the away team, conceding 3 goals at Brighton has nothing to do with Lukaku, has everything to do with our defense, has everything to do with the coach's tactics, because we invite pressure. The way we play invites pressure, and I don't know if that has anything to do with Lukaku. Now, when you look at him play for Belgium, yes, he's playing with better quality players. I mean, he's got Hazard, he's usually got De Bruyne, he's got Dries Mertens, who's a player that I love. I think he's a stud, and he doesn't get enough recognition. But at the end of the day, Roberto Martinez plays attacking football, and Jose does not do that. So Lukaku finds himself in a position where he needs to hold up play. Yeah, his first touch is not that good, but he's a big guy. We expect him to at least bring the ball down, but we continue to forget that that's not his game. Lukaku is a runner, so feed him balls in behind the defense, let him chase, and then try and bring other players from that point. But the hold-up game is simply not for him, and I'm just tired of people blaming him for the way we lose games, because that has nothing to do with him. Now, to get into the last topic, which is perhaps the most important, seeing as though it is the one question everyone wants the answer to. It is the one question that former Manchester United legends have been asking the current players. They've been asking them if they respect the badge, or because it doesn't seem like it, especially after the West Ham game. But the question is, do the players care enough? And before I give you guys my take on that, I'm going to play a little clip for you guys first. I'm going to play 2 clips actually, one from Jose Mourinho and one from Nemanja Matic, and then we're going to get into it.
So you don't think they don't care?
I think that some care more than others.
Do you want to say who?
No.
You've played enough football to know this feels like perhaps a difficult time for Manchester United. The manager has just said he thinks some players care more than others. How do you think the players are dealing with what's going on right now?
It's always difficult to when you lose the games. It's always difficult when you don't collect the points, and especially when you play in big club, in a club that wants to win the titles, wants to win trophies. So it's very hard, but this is football, this is life, and for sure everyone wants to do better. For sure we know that we didn't play well in the last couple of games.
As you can see from the 2 videos I just showed you guys, according to the gaffer himself, he feels that some players care more than others, and obviously he refused to specify the names. But the one thing a lot of Manchester United fans have been saying is the problem is that whether we win or whether we lose, the players are still going to return to their lavish lives. They're still getting ridiculous salaries or wages or whatever you want to call it. At the end of the day, they still go home, go on their Twitter, go on their Instagram, post pictures as if nothing happened. Yes, there are some people that are taking it to heart, and as you can tell, there's been friction within the team. There's been sort of Jose's side and then the rest of the players, and in my eyes, I think the people that are on Jose's side are mainly Matic and Mata, and the reason I say that is because they played for him, at Chelsea, whereas everyone else is not comfortable with the type of system that Jose wants to run, and they feel that it's affecting obviously the way we play. They just want to attack, but Jose does not have that mindset, and at the end of the day, we can't blame him for that, because his teams in the past have been successful with regards to playing a defensive style of play, with parking the bus or whatever the case may be. But we also have to take into account that those days are gone. Everyone is just attacking. Look at Liverpool, look at Chelsea with Sarri ball, look at Manchester City with Pep Guardiola's tiki-taka system. So at the end of the day, we are stuck in the past, especially Jose's past. If we were stuck in Manchester United's past, I don't think anyone would have a problem with that, because it means we'd be attacking. But that is not the case, and that is where I'm going to end this video, guys. Please let me know what you think in the comments down below. Subscribe to the channel, and yeah, guys, I'm gonna be releasing videos like this just before every single Manchester United game. And if you guys want me to do a reaction after each game, especially Champions League and the Premier League, let me know in the comments below if you think I should do that, and I would definitely do that. And yeah, never forget, United fans for life.